Hello YouTube, Komodo Gaming here, bringing you another episode of Scrap Mechanic. Today we are building a classic Formula 1 car. I had a request for a Formula 1 car from a viewer, and I'm going to do it here. I'm going to use this episode as a test here. This is not going to be a very complicated build, so it's not going to be, it's going to be easy to follow along with, nothing over the top. One of the main reasons I want to take this build on is, one, I kind of already had it planned, and two, it's what I have in the background. I've been building a racetrack, a full-blown road course, and I need a car to really test it out. I've got some other race cars, but I need a road course car, so I wouldn't think of any other better car than a Formula 1, so we're going to use this as a test, and keep in mind the track is not finished yet. This thing is taking me a lot of time. I will put this car together, and we'll give you kind of like a sneak peek or a preview of the track. I'm pretty excited about it. I have a feeling I'm going to have to make it bigger than it is, because already looking at the car now and the scale, I'm probably going to have to make the track wider, but it's a start. This is a start of kind of a series of builds I'm starting. I've got another big build plan. It has nothing to do with the race cars and racetracks. It's going to be a kind of a unique build, but this is just kind of a continuing series with race cars and racetrack on this world that I'm working on. If you want to go back, I have a sprint car video, a NASCAR video. It's just kind of a recurring thing that I'm doing right now. But anyways, let's continue to build here. Keep in mind, like I said, it is going to be a little bit smaller build. When I say smaller, it's probably going to be pretty close to the scale. The Formula 1 car that I'm trying to replicate is probably a late 80s, maybe early 90s car. It was a pretty stubby era. The cars weren't big. The cars are a little bigger now. They're a little more sleek looking. I really probably couldn't pull that off in Scrap Mechanic, just with the given blocks that the game has, but I do think I can do more of a classic look. They're a little more, I wouldn't say boxy, but they're a little taller. They got a different feel to them. Plus, I love that era of Formula 1. That's when they had the V12s in there. They were loud. They were beast of cars, and they didn't sound like vacuum cleaners like they do now. So, anyways, let's build. I think I might be a little too tall here in the front. Let's put this front piece on and see what it looks like. Ooh. Oh, that's bad. Okay, let's take that off. We're gonna. Man, I wish there was a longer slanted piece. If Scrap Mechanic, if you're listening, can we have a longer slanted piece? Another thing I'm really disappointed about is if you follow their Twitter, I think I've already said it once, they have a paint tool coming out, and I wish it was here, because this would be one of the perfect builds to use it on. I'm going to use this metal block, and it would be amazing to paint it either red like a Ferrari, or even maybe the gold and black like the old Lotus cars, but I don't have that yet. But with this kind of being a continuing thing, and I'm definitely going to come back to this track once it's fully complete. Hopefully we have it by then, and hopefully you'll see some fully painted race cars, and it's going to hopefully be amazing. I don't know, this has already been amazing before. If you haven't checked out my channel update, we made it to 500 subscribers, and when this video is being made, I'd already gained, I think we're up to 540, I believe, or somewhere right around there. So it's growing fast. I'm really happy about it. This has been amazing. So I'm glad somebody's enjoying this. Actually makes me feel really good. So I don't know. There's not really much to say about that, except for it's just it gives you kind of a warm, fuzzy, amazing feeling, and not to feel too, or at least not to sound too mushy or whatever you want to call it. Because I'm a man, I don't do mushy things. Anyways, let's continue the car here and quit talking about that. Right now we're gonna probably start building. It's called the safety pod, or they might just call it a pod. It's literally the only piece that ever stays intact when one of these things crashes, and of course, it's the piece that the driver's in. First of all, let me delete the... I put the tile down here to try to make it a little bit lighter, but that tile's going to poke out on the bottom, so let's continue this. I want everything at least be made out of metal. I might try to put some sort of stripe on it. Since I don't have a paint tool, maybe I can put something in here to kind of change it up a little bit and not look like a big gray, just metal thing. So we might try that here in a minute. Also, one of my big challenges is going to be the front suspension, or well, just where am I going to put it? That's not a lot of area up here in the front. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to do a little bit of work here and see if we can put that together. Maybe if I put this under here. I'm definitely going to have to cut some of this footage down. I've been fiddling with this thing for probably about 15 minutes. I'm thinking we're going to start here. Let me see if I can make it curve. Maybe I can make it go up and then come back down. Something like, I don't know, this. And maybe put a bearing here. But that might just, that looks a little awkward for a Formula 1 car. Let's delete that. I'm looking at a picture here. I believe I'm looking at a picture of it. I think it's called the Lotus is it T98? It's, whatever it is. I drove this car in sim racing games, and it's an absolute beast. This is actually what it's starting to look like, with how slanted upward the front is. This had almost like an unusually tall front end for a Formula 1 car. Normally when you think Formula 1, you think of a slicked front, but this one's fairly tall, so maybe we'll call it that, and whenever we get the paint tool, we'll just paint it black and gold. Thinking, let's try this for the bearings. I deleted these blocks to make it to where this piping should be able to maneuver and turn. You're not going to really see that there's blocks missing under there, but this should make it where the car turns a lot better. At least in theory, it should. Thinking that'll work. Let's go ahead and grab our motor block here, and we're going to hide the motor. You're not going to be able to see any of it. Where do I want to stick it? Let's stick it there. But yeah, I'm really excited to get this thing out on the track, and I'm sure my track needs work, but I want to show you guys at least what I'm working on. This thing has taken me, it's taken me a long time to just put it out. It gets really tedious just laying all these concrete blocks out. I don't know what it is, and then trying to shape turns it's almost really awkward. And I don't know. Let's put a little bit more, make this body a little bit more shaped and a little less boxy. So let's do this to both sides. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay. I don't know if this is what it is, but I'm going to use this duct block. Some of the old Formula 1 cars, I think, this was almost like, this is where the halo is, which it's to protect the driver if the car flips over. You don't crush your head, basically. Also, I think some of these had like an intake in them that would let air flow down into the motor. So we're gonna put that up there. So I think that looks pretty good. So let's do that. Let's close the motor off. We'll be ready for the back suspension. Then we can move back to the rear wing. We really don't have much more to go on the build. One of the main purposes is to do this. I really want to test this track out. That's what I'm really eager to do that. So we'll do that and give you guys a sneak peek. I don't know if I've already mentioned it too. I've got some other builds planned here too. We've got. I don't want to spoil what it is. We'll just wait for the weekend on that one. It's a fairly big build. I hope this doesn't look too awkward back here. I'm gonna put shocks on the back of this thing. I think I'm gonna need some sort of travel. I don't want to make it. The front has no shocks on it. I don't think I can fit them up there. So I'm going to need shocks on the back, so I'm going to have to make the suspension go up, and that looks a little awkward for a Formula 1 car. Normally they just poke out to the side, but I really think once we build the rest of the pod and then put the big back wing on it, that would look good. Also, I need to fix the front wheelbase. The front wheelbase is actually a little skinny. I need to remind myself to do that. Those wheels really should be as wide as the front wing. What am I doing here? I don't know why I connected the steering wheel to the back wheels. Motor goes back there. There we go. Alright, let's see. Let's connect. Let's go ahead and connect the steering in the front. We'll set this down. As you can see, the back suspension's screwing up again. The back suspension sets a little lower when it's up on the lift, but once I set it down, I think the metal and the weight should shift it to where it's going to lean that back end down a little more. So let's give it a try. Yeah, it should go down. Okay, we had issues. I had to take the front wing off, but that's a different story. I had to move this thing. I started getting severe lag on the front stretch. I think I figured out what it was too. I was thinking, oh dear, it's my track. I'm gonna have to get rid of this thing, and I started panicking. But then I realized it's the dreaded trailer from the last episode. That thing is going to be in my nightmares. It's horrible. It was causing the game to lag. I had to move it across the map and just get it away. It's that thing. If you watch my last episode, I lost half of my footage because of that trailer. Realistically, I think it was the car that did it, that was on the trailer, but I'm gonna blame the trailer too. Also, while I'm thinking about it, let's make this front wing just a wee bit bigger. I think we're gonna put like a 70s style wing on there. Some of the well, actually not all the 70s. Some of the 70s wings were actually really skinny, but some of the cars had these huge front wings on them, so I think that looks a little bit better. And then we'll put a fairly decent sized back wing on it, so I think we'll match it up here. Don't want to add that. Maybe I should add that block there. Give the cockpit a little more, or at least the back bit, make it look a little bit fuller here. Maybe something like that. Maybe put the little slant here. Trying to give this thing as much shape as possible. Let's delete this piece and add the slant. This is more I think about this, the person who, I don't know, I have to see who suggested this. This is actually kind of a challenge. I mean, it's not a big build. That's the problem. It's not a big build at all, but making all this fit and kind of look right it's really awkward because there's a lot of shape to a Formula One car. And, I've seen some of these done on other channels, and most of them, I mean, some of them look really, there was one that looks amazing. The channel's in Russia, Russian or something. But the scaling it's huge. I mean, it looks amazing. It looks spot on with like a modern Formula One, but the scaling is it's like twice as big as a Formula One car actually is. Mine might be slightly smaller, but like I said, the classic cars, I believe, were actually indeed smaller anyways. I saw it again. I need to fix that wheelbase. Sorry, my attention span gets short when I see something that bugs me. Also, let's, I think I have an idea for the back wing here. We just put this slanted piece across, and maybe we can make a little, maybe a little bit more shape here. Actually looks pretty good. I'm happy with this. Thinking, okay, I need to make that front wheel base wider. Might cover up a little bit back here. Maybe I can add like a piece back here and cover the suspension just a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of bugging me. Also, let me clip these off and try to add a little bit different color and a little more shape here. Maybe like that. I think we're about ready to test this beast out. Hopefully it handles good. Alright, here we go, and we are off and we're going backwards. Let's turn this around. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to make this track a lot wider on the back stretch here. I'm just looking at the scale here. Also, if you can see, I added the stripe to the side of the pod. Just try to change it up a little bit, at least until I get a paint tool. But yeah, this is pretty cool. The scrap mechanic person's a little big for the Formula One car. I made the pod go up initially a little higher, and it didn't look good with him setting in. It actually looks better with him halfway hanging out. Anyways, we're going to go around the front stretch. That was the front stretch back there. You saw the start-finish line. This is turns 1 and 2. Here's turn 3. I'm going to take another left here. I'm thinking, I'm going to have walls, and okay, note to self, don't turn too sharp and too fast. I think I'm going to have walls down back here. I'm going to have like a pedestrian bridge somewhere back here to get to. Those stands are in the middle of the track, so for spectators to get to that. We're coming around here. I might make this hairpin up here a little longer, go out a little further. Anyways, you're going to take a left here at the hairpin, and I'm going to have to learn how to actually control this thing and make good speed. But there's the garages, that building. You can hopefully I'm going to try to park the car in here in a minute. Let's try to get a good look at the car. There's grandstands over there. I'm probably going to put some sort of fencing up to make sure I don't fly into them. There's the start-finish line. That's where the flagger stand is. Pit wall. Everything looks pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with the car. I might jack the power up a little bit and give it a little bit more speed. Let's park it over in the garage and see if that works. I might even make the whole thing just one. No, I don't want to make this thing any wider. This thing's gonna have to fit around this track. So I think we're about where we are. We're kind of stuck with what we're gonna get here. Let's see if it fits in the garage. Oh yeah, fits like a glove. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think I can duplicate this car fairly easy and have multiple of them and kind of race them around. We'll also do other things with this track. Here's kind of a little bit closer look at the track. But anyways, that's probably going to about wrap it up for this episode. If you'd like to like the video, subscribe. Any and everything helps. Like I said, channel's doing really good right now. I've got some exciting builds planned for the weekend. Hopefully at some point during the week, maybe the weekend, I can finish this track. I've got a lot of work on it. If you'd like to see anything else race car wise, I can try to put those together. And then also I'm taking suggestions for other just builds that you want to see. I've got some things planned out, but I just need time. It's one of those things where I'm trying to find as much spare time and try to get all the things done here. But anyways, it's gonna wrap it up for this build. We'll get this bad boy put together and get it going. So we'll see you next time.